on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the Immersion Theater.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Happy Sunday. I hope you're getting out there on the slopes. I'm your host, Kimberly Pro. It is January 28th, last Sunday of the month. Hard to believe it, but in this first hour, it is never too early to prepare for Valentine's Day. Whether it's a sweet treat for your friends, your family, your loved one, or your kids' teachers, Sabrina Feldman, the cookie artist, shows us how to make a delicious Valentine's Day heart royal icing cookie. Let's get started. Hour one of Good Morning Vail starts now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on Mountain Perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
One of the most anticipated events in the Centennial State is back this week in Aspen.
That's right. All the excitement is here, and our team at TV8 is on the call.
We'll have all the latest information from the games and exclusive content.
All the excitement and more, only on Good Morning Vail.
Good Morning Vail starts at 7 a.m. and wraps up at 9, but make sure to keep up with us on the social platforms.
That's the best way to see where all the action is and see what's hot. We'll see you on the slopes.
Good morning, Vail.
We are entering the season of love. Cookie artist Sabrina Feldman shows me how to make the cookie dough so that you can give some sweet treats to your friends and family this holiday and love season. Let's take a look. Into the kitchen is always a blast, especially when you are baking cookies. And joining me today to show us how to make a beautiful decorated cookie, probably like you've seen all over the social media, I've got Sabrina Feldman, cookie artist, here to talk about how to do it and show us all the ways and the tricks of the trade. Sabrina, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm excited to be in the kitchen because I watch Instagram videos of decorated cookies all the time. So I cannot wait to see your process and to learn how to do it.
That's how I got started, actually. During COVID, I was really bored and on social media all day, every day. And I was like, I think I can do this. So I gave it a try, and that was 3.5 years ago. And now I do it for fun for friends. I sell my cookies on the side for fun as well. I love it so much.
Well, the work that you do is so great, and you've been featured all over the place. You've done some stuff for Marvel, and they've featured your cookies and your decorating, and it's just, it's very exciting stuff.
It is. It's been really fun to tap into that creativity. It's fun because I honestly never thought I was creative, and now people are like, oh, you're such an artist. And it's so funny because I'd never considered myself an artist, and now here I am.
And cookie art is so great. So we've got some already prepared dough. Can you talk to me a little bit about the process? Like, how do you come up with your dough? Tell me all of that.
So I took a bunch of other people's recipes, kind of found my little niche and what worked for me. For me, cream cheese is something that actually really helps keep a good consistency to help cookies not spread. I add different flavors in, so over the summer I'll do something like lemon or lime in the cookies. In the winter it's always nutmeg and cinnamon. If you can get peppermint, sometimes peppermint's great. So you can really find a way to make it your own and not just, even with store-bought, you could zhuzh it up however you need to.
Awesome. Well, let's get started.
Great. So we're going to start, as Kim said, we've already prepared some dough. We're just going to roll it out. So I usually have 2 rolling pins. One I usually use to flatten it or make it the right consistency. This one that I'm using here has some pegs on the side, so you can have a full shape and width and thickness across the dough. So you just flatten it out until you can't really go any deeper.
Okay.
And we should be good to go.
So, question, the dough was sticking a little bit to the pin just now. And so what is a trick that we can do to keep it from sticking to the rolling pin?
Great question. And you'll see this across the way. We have some flour over here, so we'll just sprinkle a little bit of flour across the top and make sure that it's smooth enough. You don't want sticky dough because it'll stick to the place you're rolling it out on. It'll stick to the cookie cutters, which is not fun. It'll stick to the cookie dough.
And then you lose the shape of the cookie.
Then you lose the shape of the cookie. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we'll just make sure that it's the perfect consistency. See, it just rolls straight across. No problems.
Oh, that's great.
Do you want to do the first cut?
I do. Okay,
Great.
so we've got hearts here. I love a good heart cookie, and this is fun because it gives it a really nice big surface to do good decorating with. Awesome. Oh, there we go. Look, it came up so easy. Awesome. I'm going to do the next one, and I'll let you finish.
Perfect.
She's the expert. She does it quickly.
If they come up, I honestly just put them directly on the pan right away because why go back and do work again?
Yep.
We're all about efficiency and convenience here. So you can probably get, with the amount of dough we have here, we're hoping to get about a dozen cookies, but it really depends on the shape. So we have 2 different shapes and sizes here. So hopefully it lasts a little bit longer than most. But this is the perfect for like your little Galentine's Day or, your little kid's party that you are going to host at school or something.
That's great. And so this is not wasted dough. So you've cut out the shapes, and then we're going to reuse this dough to continually get more cookies out of it.
Absolutely.
Great. Awesome. They look great. And then you can obviously reshape them as you need to. So it doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat.
No, absolutely not.
Great.
And the best part, one of my favorite things, and we'll talk more about that when we get into the icing, is when you're decorating them, you can really change how you do each one. So you can be consistent across the board with them, or you can design them in a ton of different ways.
That's so much fun. Now, what has been your favorite cookie shape that you've made so far? I know that's a big question.
Very loaded question. So my brother got married in May, and he's very into video games.
Okay.
So I did a Super Mario and Peach, like a groom and a bride.
How cute.
And the place seatings were mushroom and stars. So they were really excited about it. They had so much fun, and it was a surprise for them. They didn't know that I was doing it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it was like a giant Super Mario and a giant Peach face.
How fun. I love that. So you like to do just a lot of like pop culture decorated cookies. I love that. That's so much fun.
It's a way for me to show what's fun for me. So like my niece's birthday is coming up, and I know she's very into Barbie right now. So that is the theme of her birthday party. So we're going to do a set of Barbie cookies. It's so much fun.
Great. And so now we're just taking these cookies, we're putting them on parchment paper. How important is parchment paper?
You know, I also use silicone mats, so they help. It just depends on what you have accessible. This is so easy to get. It's so cheap. And a lot of the times if I'm rolling out dough, I'll use the parchment paper on top of the dough or underneath as well, and then I'll just reuse it. No waste here. I'll reuse it as what I'm baking them on as well.
That's great. And parchment paper really helps to get the cookies off the baking sheet so they don't stick.
It makes it so easy.
But if you didn't have that at home, could you use like butter or oil or?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I think it would change the consistency of the actual cookie. So that's not something that I would recommend doing. It's got enough butter in there and enough oil that you definitely don't need that in there.
So in other words, just be prepared ahead of time if you're making cookies.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So you're putting more flour down just to continually make sure it does not stick to our rolling surface.
Right, exactly. It's stuck a little bit, but the best part is you can always redo it.
I love how the silver rolling pin just rolls straight across it when you
straight
flatten
across.
it out.
And honestly, these you can also change. So if you like a thicker cookie or if you like a thinner cookie, you can pop these ones off on this specific pin, which makes my life so easy.
Got it. Okay, great. So the green around your rolling pin determines the thickness of the cookie.
Yeah. So as you can see here,
yeah,
it's an even across. So when it's baking, it'll cook evenly in the oven as well, which is something that can be and has been a problem for me in the past.
You know, I think people make cookies at home all the time, and I don't think they realize like there is a science to it.
Oh my goodness! Something I am not is a scientist. So when it comes to like figuring out if I want a fluffier cookie, you add more baking powder. That's not my world. I leave that to the scientists and the professional bakers. I'm more of a cookie artist.
You are the flavors and the artistry.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, great. Well, we've got these cookies going, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back to make the frosting, which is going to be exciting. Yeah. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Each week on The Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss The Tech Show. Check your local listings.
Thank you for watching Good Morning Vail. Have an amazing day. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine. We'll see you tomorrow right here for more Good Morning Vail. Bye, everyone. Hi, I'm Gretchen Bleshaw. You might recognize me from the Glitz and Glam with Gretchen. Maybe you hear my voice on the radio from time to time or see me out at a concert or two. I love concerts. If you see me out, the long mermaid hair, I'm almost 6 foot tall. It's hard to miss. Come and say hi, give me a high five, and make sure to watch me right here on TV8.
My name is Tyler Alvarez. I work here at Sweet Basil in Vail. I'm a bartender here. I originally came to Vail to snowboard. I slept on my sister and my cousin's couch for what was supposed to be a week, turned into 2 months, and then I found my own spot, and then kind of made friends and worked different places in the valley and kind of just fell in love with it more and more every single day, and ended up finding my way to Sweet Basil through some friends who had worked here and all the great things that I heard about it. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now. It's hard to wake up in Vail and be upset when you look outside. It's just beautiful. My favorite part about working at Sweet Basil is definitely that I could be proud about everything that we're putting out, whether it's food, drinks. We also get to be really creative here. The bartenders, the whole team here, we workshop our menus every season, so we'll start with a spirit or an ingredient, and then we get to be really creative and make a whole project of it. And then when we get the final product, it's a drink that we're all really proud of for the whole menu, and that's super fun, just being able to be creative and work with new things. And the most fun cocktails to make, though, are definitely the ones that we get to create from scratch. When people take a sip and say, oh my God, this is delicious, or they just love it. And that's probably the most fun for me, the creativity behind it and making unique cocktails. That, for me, that would be the most fun drink to make, just the one that you start from scratch and then people are excited about. I'm Tyler, I live and work in Vail. Come see me at Sweet Basil.
Good morning, Vail.
How do you get a frosting that is hard and also has some shine to it? Sabrina shows me how to make royal icing and how to do 2 different consistencies to make these fun Valentine's Day cookies. Let's check it out. Standing here in the kitchen with the cookie artist, Sabrina Feldman, and she's one of those artists that you always see all over Instagram with the decor and decorating of a beautiful cookie. And the basis of that is royal icing. So Sabrina's going to show us how to make royal icing today. So very excited.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the royal icing and, what is it?
So royal icing is going to be it's basically your palette and your paints for when you're decorating your cookies. So there are a couple of different ways that people make it, what works for them, the different things that, from a consistency standpoint. So I'll teach you about all the tricks and why we use certain products. I'm big into measuring the weight over like a teaspoon, a tablespoon. So that's how I typically do it. So I have my scale here.
And this is just an easy food scale. You can get it anywhere.
Yep, easy food scale. I'll put my pole or whatever utility I'm using directly on there and then net it down so it's in grams. And now it's 0, even though obviously this bowl is.
So you have to, what is it called? You have to tare it. The way that you do that is you put your bowl on top of it and then you clear out the weight and it makes it like it doesn't exist.
Yep, exactly. I wish I had one of those. So right here we have meringue powder. We're going to start with some dry ingredients and some of the smaller wet ingredients. So meringue powder is one of the things that's going to make it really shiny. So when you see those gorgeous store-bought cookies that have that extra sheen on it, this is what's going to help you do that. So what we're going to do is 36 grams here. So it's about 2 tablespoons-ish. And then we're going to add in about a tablespoon or teaspoon of corn syrup, which also gives it a shine, but also makes it hard quicker.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that that's the trick.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, how does the icing get hard to decorate?
And I have made that mistake. The first batch of cookies I made, I was so excited. They looked gorgeous when I went to bed. I woke up the next morning and they had fallen. The icing had just fallen completely off the cookie.
Oh my goodness.
So a friend sent me this recipe and I love it. Now I'm big into flavors, so I'm big into vanilla. For this, I don't love the taste of straight up sugar, so the vanilla really cuts that for me. What you want is a clear a clear vanilla for when you're doing these cookies so that the white is actually white. If you use a brown one, it's obviously going to turn more of a beige color. So this is going to be about a tablespoon. For me, most people do a teaspoon, but I do a tablespoon. So
I like to add extra vanilla too. And
every time
I cook on the show and we use vanilla, I always talk about that. It's great to add extra vanilla because it just gives it a little bit more flavor.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to whisk this up until it's like slightly foamy. Oh, I forgot one thing. Water. Water is honestly a huge base of this. So what you need is about 1/3 of a cup of water.
Okay.
So you want it to just be like, it's definitely going to be a wet consistency here, and then we'll add in the confectioner sugar.
So right now you've got the meringue powder, the vanilla, and water.
And corn syrup.
And corn syrup. And the corn syrup makes it hard and shiny.
Yeah, which is what we're looking for in these cookies. So as you see, it's like foaming up just a tiny bit. That's what we're looking for.
Okay. So
and I do this with my hand whisk because it's not a ton of lift.
great. So that's basically it's like almost like an egg white consistency, or
Yeah.
like a foam from the top of like a latte.
It's funny you say that. So what meringue powder actually is egg whites. So
Oh.
it's like an egg white powder,
Okay.
which really helps just make it the consistency that it is.
Yeah, great.
So I'm going to slowly add in the flour. I am the messiest baker. That should be my nickname. So I try to mix it in a little bit first so that when I turn the mixer on, the hand mixer, it doesn't.
Go all over the place. And I'm wearing a black shirt, so that's going to be fun.
Yep, exactly. So we'll start with this.
Okay. And then you just hit the play right there. And this will have a nice egg to it.
So I add mine in little by little to make sure, because the consistency can change very quickly throughout. We're going to go with a half a bag of this, which is 16 ounces of sugar.
Awesome.
To start. And what we'll end up doing, and you'll see this as we move on, that there are going to be two different types. Yeah, we'll go with two different types of consistencies today. So the first one's going to be more firm,
Okay.
which is going to be the outline of the cookies, and kind of gives it a good setting. And if we're writing on the cookies, which we will probably be doing later, that'll also be the type of consistency you'd want. But then you're also going to flood the icing, flood the cookies. So that's going to be a much wetter consistency.
Awesome. So flooding the cookie, tell me about it. What does that mean?
Flooding the cookie is really filling in. It's as if you were coloring in a coloring book.
Okay.
And you're trying to color in the lines. You just want to cover the entire cookie. It's super wet, so it's like easy for it to become messy, but that's what we're going to work on today, is finding that perfect consistency.
Awesome. And you can see it starting to really thicken up the more powdered sugar that you add into it.
Absolutely.
So that light, fluffy, like egg white consistency is no longer. Yeah, it looks great. I definitely want to try it, but I will wait. I will refrain from sticking my fingers into the frosting.
I'm big into licking the whisk on the way out
At
before
the
it goes in
end.
the dishwasher.
Obviously, and frosting is one that you can try ahead of time. If you eat the cookie dough because of the raw eggs, you shouldn't eat it, but
Right.
every
Shouldn't.
once in a while you have to try a little bit.
You just have to make sure it's all right before it goes in the oven, before you do anything else. You have to taste test everything.
Exactly right. So yeah, you're just consistently adding it in to make sure it's what kind of consistency are we looking for here? in the
Right now
frosting?
it's going to be more firm, and we're going to slowly add water for the flood consistency.
Okay.
So we're just going to use as much sugar. So this one is definitely more what works for you also. So I play around, and every time I do it, I might start with 16 ounces and end up with 20 ounces of sugar, or the other way around. It just depends on, sometimes it's the air, sometimes, you put a sprinkle of water too much in or something, or maybe I added too much flour that day.
Okay.
I mean, not flour, too much vanilla that day.
Uh-huh.
But
And
we
that,
should be.
obviously, because vanilla is liquid, it changes the consistency as well.
We're just going to check and make sure that this is about 16. Yeah, perfect.
Great. I love that you knew exactly what to do. So this is very precise baking by using a food scale, and
Yeah.
that's the way to do it.
It's really helpful, and if you follow any bakers, they normally tell you, especially with some of the more complicated ones. So I'm big into making macarons, and that is definitely, for sure, a science. If you do one thing wrong, it messes up the whole cookie.
I love that. And so this is just a passion for you that's
Yeah.
turned into a
Yeah.
bit of a business. I love that.
And for me, it's tough because I just want to sit there and eat it. So for me, it's better to show off that I love my friends and my family by baking a little bit of something for them.
So this consistency, you can see it. It's starting to get shiny, which is the meringue powder and the corn syrup.
And it's a lot thicker now.
And it's much thicker. Absolutely, you can see that.
And what we're going to do is we're going to put this mixer medium-high
Okay.
and try to get out as many of the air bubbles as you can. So when you start decorating and flooding, you'll see that sometimes there are some air bubbles. You can easily poke them out with a toothpick if you have that on hand. But this is almost perfect.
It looks great.
And the more you whisk it, the whiter it gets and fluffier.
Oh, that's really interesting.
I don't know the science behind that though.
You can see the color changing in it. You know, as I've been standing here watching you mix this, it's gone from like almost an off-white to a more like a nice toothpaste white.
It's what we're looking for with icing. So also you could see that it's pretty thick and it doesn't fall into itself as quickly. So we've got probably like 16-second icing, which is what we call it. So it'll fall apart within 16 seconds. It'll all fall into each other within 16 seconds.
Okay.
So this is the base for...
And that's what you want, is it 16 seconds it takes to get all the way back to normal?
To start for what we're going to do for the outside, the lining of the cookie.
Okay.
So we're going to put some of this into separate bowls so we can color them. For Valentine's Day, we're going to do red and pinks, and we'll leave some white on the side. So we'll outline the hearts first, and then it dries pretty quickly, this outlining side does, and then we'll add some more water to the icing, and it'll make it for the flood. So the goal is to match the colors pretty equally.
Okay, great.
So we'll have
awesome.
2 different piping bags for each one. So the first piping bag will be for the liner, and the second piping bag will be for the flooding.
Oh, cool. So we need 2 different consistencies and
Yep.
2 different colors. Awesome. It looks great. So the 16-second test, can you show me what that looks like?
Sure.
Okay.
So when you do this,
Yep.
if you count to about 10 to 16,
Yeah, I can see it like slowly
and it's
starting.
still not in. With flooding, it's about 8
Okay.
seconds. So it cuts it in half, and we'll test. We could test that again when we add some more water to it. But for now, we're going to split it up into separate bowls.
Okay.
So that we can add some color to it.
Awesome. Now I'm so excited because I watch these videos online all the time of how to make these cookies, and it's just so fascinating to me. So I am glad to know like the 16-second test and the 8-second test and flooding versus not. So this is a really great lesson that we've got going on here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How do our cookies look?
Well, let me see.
Smell delicious.
They are looking good, and I think they're close to coming out of the oven. So we will take them out here shortly while we continue to separate the frosting. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Familia, estamos muy emocionados de por fin presentarles nuestro nuevo programa completamente en español, Conexión Latina, que se estrena este lunes 21 de agosto a partir de las 7 de la tarde. Por el momento, el programa se transmitirá los lunes, miércoles y viernes de 7 a 7 y media de la tarde, con una repetición de 7 y media a 8, así que no hay excusas para perdértelo. Te recuerdo que puedes sintonizar nuestra programación a través del canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página web tva.com y nuestra página de Facebook TVA Conexión Latina. Acompáñanos en esta nueva aventura llena de información y entretenimiento local. No te lo pierdas.
Well, Archer and I are going to get headed on further down the trail, but I hope you'll catch up with us a little bit later. Hi, I'm Ben Roof, and I'm one of the new hosts here at TV8. I'm so excited to share all of my explorations throughout the Vail Valley with my dog Archer, where we'll be taking you to hiking trails, biking trails, maybe we'll go rafting, fishing, or whatever else we can come up with. I'm so excited to share all of that with you in my new segment, Outdoor Adventures. Don't forget to catch up with us every day right here at TV8 Vail or at tv8vail.com, because there's always more for you on 92.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tva8vail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Well, welcome to a special edition of Good Morning Vail TV 8 Sports. Standing to my right, Zeb Powell. Zeb, how we doing, man? We're right in front of the half pipe. It's looking pretty crisp. How you feeling?
That thing is looking crisp, huh? I'm feeling good. Yeah, I got bodied last night, like second hit on the knuckle, like went to the bottom, very bottom, and I think it's the most shook I've ever been from a fall. So, yeah, I just slept it off and got up and rode today, and like I've never hit the slope style course, so I wouldn't hit the slope style course. And yeah, just got my feet back under me. I just scared myself again, and like now I'm kind of back up, and I got knuckle huck practice right after this, so I'm just gonna feel it out again. Try not to go, 25 feet.
Right on. Recovering from that slam a little bit, are we?
Yeah, for sure.
So we just walked out of that press conference, a lot of good questions. You gave us a lot of good answers, and we talked about Luke Winkleman a minute. How important of a guy is he to you? Coming from North Carolina too, and then him being your number one fan, you're kind of his number one fan at the same time. What does that kid mean to you?
Oh my God, he means the world, honestly, because it's just sick that it's crazy. I think we're just about the same age, and funny enough, even though we grew up in the same spot, I was 2 hours north or 2 hours south of him at Catalucci, so I would only see him for competitions and like briefly after, and maybe like just a random day at Ski Mountain. But other than that, we didn't really get to hang out much until we both got on Burton and Red Bull, and then we like kind of ran into each other a lot more. So after our street trip last year for our movie Bloom, we became a lot closer, and now we're like really, really close. And I think half of that is because we're from North Carolina and both came from the same thing. And yeah, I don't know, his style inspires me, and I think my just wild style inspires him, and we just have a great time riding together. So it's so sick to have him out here, and I hope we can get some clips together as we always do.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it too. And I kind of asked you this question earlier, but last year he assisted you with that sick trick at Knuckle Huck. Can you give us any sort of sneak peek? I know I already asked you this earlier, but can you kind of give us that answer again?
All I could say is there's a little bit more of a roll on the knuckle, so maybe I can go further back and do something. Like, it's not just going to be straight out the knuckle. I can, like, jump into the landing. That's really the only vision right now. I've kind of been thinking about tricks, but as you know, you never know what I'm going to do, and I don't either. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Awesome, man. It's a wait-and-see type of thing. I knew that about you, too. You always just kind of play it by ear and then get out there. But, like I mentioned, I'm from North Carolina, too, from Charlotte. Grew up skiing at App Ski Mountain, worked in the board shop there. How big of a smile do you have on your face when you're just back home riding on your home mountain?
I love it. I really love it. It honestly, just like because I came from the worst conditions, that's that feeling, or like, I guess, carelessness of like what type of weather it is has never gone away. So when I go home and it's the same, it just feels like I'm home, like, because I am home, of course. So. I love it, and it always has like just such a great feeling. Like,
awesome, man. Well, let's talk about the X Games, kind of what's behind us. What are you looking forward to most this year?
Honestly, I think I'm looking forward to just the style factor this year. I think some of the riders are thrown off just because they're used to hucking, but it'll be kind of cool to see people just take a step back and try to figure out, showcase style over spinning for once. That's really cool for me. So
Awesome, man. Well, you got anything you want to add?
I don't know. X Games, shouts out Planet Zebulon. Let's get it.
So we had a classic matchup on the hardwood as Eagle Valley made the trip over to Battle Mountain High to take on the Huskies.
Battle Mountain High boys basketball was coming off a 2-game skid and looking to turn it around against the rival school. 2 players hit the deck, giving Cooper Skidmore the open look. He takes the 3 and nails it to get the Huskies on the board. Eagle Valley now with the ball. Parker Newbanks takes the 3 and nails it for the Devils to tie this game up at 3 apiece. Devils back with the ball. Dylan Zoller drives straight to the basket, lays it up, and it is good for Eagle Valley. On the other end, Skidmore takes it straight to the basket and scores big for the Huskies. Battle Mountain now back with it. Blake Roberts goes straight to the basket and gets this one to go as well for the Huskies. Under the basket, it's Elias Pina, and he'll get the contested reverse layup to drop in for the Devils. Battle Mountain will have it stolen away, and Jonah Medina will get the bucket to go for the Devils. Before time expires, Eagle Valley takes a shot. It's no good, but gets cleaned up by Tyler Bates, and the Devils are starting to feel themselves. Eagle Valley will go on to get the win over Battle Mountain, beating the Huskies 58-44.
Battle Mountain High and Eagle Valley High girls basketball also squared off on the hardwood, and we got those highlights for you now.
Battle Mountain girls basketball was on a 3-game skid and looking to turn it around against their rivals. However, Eagle Valley wasn't going to make it easy as the Devils have been playing hot lately. The Devils take the ball down the court, and Josie Fitzsimmons will drive straight to the basket and secure the bucket for Eagle Valley. Battle Mountain will have it taken away by Addie Mandenville, who goes straight to the rack and earns another Devils 2 points. Eagle Valley coming into enemy grounds and looking tough on the hardwood. The Huskies now on the attack. They lose possession, but Isabel Zastra will recover and nail the shot from mid-range to end an Eagle Valley run. But the Devils will snap back into action as Abby Talbot pulls up and gets this one to drop in from close range. However, on the other end, the Huskies will find a wide-open Anna Glass, who has all the time on her side, and she nails the 3 for Battle Mountain. On the other end, Zakiya Sharif gets the rock and puts it into the basket on the quick catch and shoot. Then with 2 defenders on her, Sydney DeTrolio will pass it away, get it back, and put it up into the basket for another Devils 2 points. Eagle Valley girls basketball travels to Edwards and gets the job done as they beat Battle Mountain 46-22.
Well, CU women's basketball has certainly had an impressive season so far this year, and here's a little look at what head coach J.R. Payne and the team were thinking ahead of the 2023-24 year.
Back-to-back trips to the Big Dance confirm head coach of CU women's basketball, J.R. Payne, is no stranger to success. Now she enters her 8th season at the helm in Boulder.
What have you learned in these past 8 years that you can't wait to implement the most into a new season?
Great question. I think early on we learned it's really important to be just true to who you are and what you want to be about. And so we've worked really hard to recruit the type of players that we want to be around, kids that are blue collar, hardworking, tough, do their job, be a great teammate. And so that hasn't really changed for us. Now that we've really locked into that in the past many years, we've created a culture where we are those things.
Coming off a run to the Sweet 16, Payne's team returns some of the best talent in the conference. She believes preseason all-conference players Jalen Sherrod and Quay Miller will set the tone.
I would say that nobody in the world has higher expectations of ourselves than we do. Like I said, our veterans do a great job of making sure that we're holding ourselves to the standard that we believe we're capable of.
Payne's confidence runs high for the season, which entails a tough non-conference schedule, beginning with the reigning national champions. But the Buffaloes team is hungry for the challenge.
When you look at how tough our schedule is, that tells you how I feel about our team, and our readiness to compete. We talked to our veterans about some of the games that were, put in front of us, and our veterans said, absolutely, we want these games, and so they wanted to be challenged in that way. We'll be prepared.
Make sure to continue keeping up with us as we're going to give you all the latest sports coverage continually here in the Valley and beyond. We'll see you next time.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Gretchen Fleshaw. I have the winner, the baddie. Love her. Mia, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. I don't know. I have no words right now.
I know, dude. I feel bad that I'm making you do an interview because she's like, Gretchen, I am so amped. I feel like I'm not amped.
Yeah.
Mia, I have to tell you, you slayed. I was on my toes screaming like, that's my voice. Do you hear this? It's because of you. Thanks, Mia. TV and radio will never be the same.
Yeah.
No, but you looked amazing out there. How did you feel going into it? Were you nervous? Were you calm? How are you feeling?
I don't know. It was a bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think practice went pretty good, so the comp was good. Yeah.
Could have you, like, because I know it's a lot right now, and
Yeah.
we appreciate you taking the time for this. Before you started, you were feeling kind of calm, excited though.
Yeah.
And then did it go better than you ever could have imagined? Were you just like super, super stoked?
Yeah. I think, I don't know, man. It was just pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Dropped in and I was just like, yeah, we're going to get the gold.
That is so amazing. And so how are you feeling right now? I know that you're like super amped, but kind of like overwhelmed. What's the next thing? After you talk to all of us, what are you gonna go like chill? Are you gonna go celebrate? What's your next move?
I don't know. I'm probably going to go sleep, to be honest.
Are you
I'm so jet lagged right now. Holy.
Yeah, you're like, I can't believe. Do you feel like you're kind of in a dream a little bit?
Definitely.
Oh my
like when they were
gosh.
like calling my name and they were like, Mia Brooks, I was like, whoa,
Dude,
what is going on?
Mia just won gold, like, what, 10 minutes ago?
I think it was less than that.
You're like, it was literally 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So Mia, what are you gonna do with your medal? Are you gonna like frame it? Are you gonna sleep with it under your pillow?
I'm gonna just keep wearing it.
You're just gonna ball her out, walk around like gold medal,
Yeah.
Mia, what up?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so all of the young girls like looking up to you out there that are, you know, thinking this is something I want to do and I want to be like you. What is something that you would give them, like a piece of advice?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just send it.
Yeah.
You know,
I
as long
love
as
it.
you have the confidence.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Mia. Okay, so when are we gonna see you next? What's your next big thing?
I don't know, maybe Big Air on Sunday. So fingers crossed for that.
I love it. Thank you so much. You're rad. We love you. Keep it right here. We have more of the show to come.
Good morning, Vail.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interest across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Good morning, Vail.
Fun fact, I never knew that you had to have two kinds of consistencies of frosting to make those cookies that you see all over the internet and just in baking shops and more. Sabrina shows me how to flood a cookie and what that means with royal icing. Let's explore that. So much fun decorating and preparing and making the cookies. Now we are actually going to decorate them because we made the royal icing and we've added colors to them. So talk to me all about what we've done here.
So what we've done is we've created two different types of icings. We've created the outline, which is the 16 consistency that we were talking about before, and we've created the 8 to 10 flooding icing. So I'm going to show you how we've bagged them. Our approach today, our design today, is we're going to start with conversation hearts. So those little candies you used to get in a box as a kid that said, call me later, or like, love you, XOXO. So we're going to create those. I'm going to show you how we put the icing in the bag. So I get a cup with that has like a little bit more of a narrow top. You take your bag, you wrap it around there. we're going to try to get as much out of this as absolutely possible.
Great. And so that is the flooding consistency. Now, how did you make it? We obviously made our royal icing with the normal consistency, but then how did you make this one a little bit more of a flooded consistency?
Great question. We usually just add a touch of water. There are two different approaches you can do. Most people say that you should recreate that mix that you saw in the beginning, which was the flour or the vanilla, the confectioner sugar, or not the confectioner sugar, the flour.
The vanilla, the meringue powder,
the corn syrup,
and the corn syrup,
and the water. So you'd add that together to mix that in. I think it's just so much easier to add a little bit of water. You can play around. I mean, I think when I was making these specific ones, I added a little too much water, so I added a little bit more sugar to counterbalance that to make it the right consistency. So we've tied up our bag. You just twist it around, and then I'm going to show you how to cut it. This one's for the flooding, so we're going to cut a little bit wider. I don't know where I put the scissors. A little bit of a wider tip, so you could see this tip here. We're going to cut it like 1 centimeter.
And it doesn't need to be a big cut, even though it will still have a lot of frosting that comes out of it.
Absolutely. And you cut a thinner one for the piping. So if you can see here, I don't know if you can, it's much smaller because we want to make sure that it only is to block out the edging and make sure that the colors stay in the lines when you do the flooding.
Okay, great.
So we're going to start with our purple, and we're going to take our first conversation heart, and we're just going to...
I love watching a left-handed piper.
Oh, yeah. They say we're more creative, don't they?
That's true.
So you're just going to follow the outline.
And it doesn't need to be a very thick or a lot of frosting.
Nope.
Just a
tiny bit.
Okay.
And then we're going to kind of let that sit for 2 minutes maybe to let it dry.
Okay.
So I want to see you do one. You want to grab the yellow?
Oh boy. Okay. I'm going with the yellow.
So you hold it like a pen.
Okay.
I'm going to just put that one. I hold it by where the top of the bag is. Yep.
Just like that?
Where the top of the color is. Yep.
Okay. And then
you just follow the outline.
Do you put a little pressure on
A
it?
little pressure. You squeeze a tiny, tiny bit.
All right. Do I hold the cookie down?
However you want to do it.
The pressure is
You're doing
on.
it. You're doing it. If it's not coming out too easily, oh, there you go. You can always cut a bigger hole in your bag. Sometimes it's just that the bag is too small. Sometimes you could sift your sugar before. A lot of bakers like to do that. It's too time consuming for me, so I just hope I don't get a clump of sugar. If so, you just pinch the bag and the sugar should pop right out. Look at that, that looks great.
It's not bad. It's okay.
It's great. It's great.
You know, for my first time doing royal icing piping, I'm pretty proud of it.
I think it looks great. And then I'm going to take that red piping bag because we're going to do something special on this red one. So quickly.
So we have two shapes here. We've got a heart and then we've got a round circle.
And as you can see, the different sizes. I cut this bag a little bit thicker than these two, but it's not going to change too much of that.
Okay,
so
great.
You're going to take...
You did that so quickly. Expert here, that is the truth.
Time. You also just care less about it being like perfectly around the rim. It sort of figures itself out, I guess.
Got it.
I'm going to give you this yellow one to fill in. And then one thing I'm going to tell you with filling in is I'll give you a scribe. I love a scribe like this. It's super simple. You can also use a toothpick. As you're flooding it or after you're done flooding it, we're going to fill in some of the holes. You're not necessarily going to fill with the pipe, with the frosting, the entire thing. So I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So as you're going, I just follow the same exact pattern I did before. So I'm just going to go around.
Okay. And this is flooding the frosting onto the cookie.
And see, I'm not doing it. It's not perfect.
Okay. I'm going to try it.
As you do that, I'm going to show how you fill in some of these holes like this. The scribe is my favorite tool to use in the kitchen when I'm baking.
I am not good at this right now.
That's exactly what mine looked like.
And there we go.
So I found some of the holes.
Okay. All right.
Like this.
So you take your little, this is called a scribe.
It's called a scribe.
Okay. And you just kind of fill in the holes like that, just like that. It's like painting.
It's literally like painting. Sometimes
great.
I actually end up making it more like painting than it should be.
So we're just painting these in with our scribe, or if you had a toothpick, could that work too?
Toothpick would be perfect. Anything that has a sharp point like this, not like a knife, that would not work. And sometimes if it's like on mine, you could see that there are kind of some things, little divots or pokes there. You can just go like this, and it should work itself out.
So how quickly does this dry?
Ooh, depends. I made some the other day that it wasn't dry after like 12 hours. Usually it takes 6 to 12 hours.
to be fully hardened.
To be fully hardened, where we would want to like write on them or do something like that.
Okay, great.
While you're finishing that one, I'm going to do this red one because I'm going to show you something super fun.
Awesome. So I'm just sitting here coloring this in, and you said you can just stick it in the middle and
shake it around.
Shake it around.
And it should be good. So with this red, I'm going to do something fun with this one. So we've also created a flood consistency for white, and I'm going to do little dots.
Okay. So this is wet on wet frosting.
Wet on wet frosting.
I love that.
And what you do is you take your little...
This is very therapeutic.
It is. That's why I started it. And look, I made little hearts by taking the scribe, just a little dot.
Amazing. It looks like that latte art that you see at the coffee
It
shop.
does. Oh my goodness. Super simple and easy to make it look elegant and special.
That's great. So you just took the wet frosting, and then you took the white wet frosting, made little dots, and then just dragged your scarf through it.
Yep.
That's
and just because
perfect.
we're here, this won't be one that we'll use, but you can also make a star. And so what you would do is you would pull it up and out.
Oh, how cool.
And you can also make, this
That's
one's
so
my
much fun.
favorite, is a rose.
And the beauty of cookies is you don't have to be a super perfect artist. You can just really try it and see what works on your first couple, and
Yep.
then you just get to do what you want
I
to
mean,
do.
look at how great yours looked. You thought you were like, it's a mess, and it's perfect.
It turned out pretty good. I can kind of see the edging, and I'm getting there. I'm learning.
You're learning.
So then what do we do next?
So we're going to let these dry. We'll fill in the rest of these. Let them dry, and then you can write on them. They actually have edible markers that I love to use. You can just be as simple as that. Or you can take your piping consistency with the red and write your little design, whatever you want to write. Maybe you have a specific message for someone. So 2 different ways you can write. I personally really love using the piping bag and the frosting. Typically, to get it perfect, I would have a projector, which makes it's like a little trick. I don't have the best handwriting, so it's one way to make it perfect. Especially if you're trying to do if you want to use a specific font, you can easily follow that and just trace it. It's like being in 2nd grade again and tracing your letters. So it's super simple and really easy. So we'll fill these in, and then hopefully we'll get to some writing in a little bit.
Awesome. Well, this is going to be great. So we have a bunch of different colors. So how did you make the colors? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we took the frosting, the icing that I had already created, basic white, and then we separated it into, I think it was 4 different bowls for 4 different colors, right? And then we took the main consistency, put that directly in a piping bag after we made our colors. And
that's for the edging?
That's for the edging. So we took the original frosting, just added this, so that the colors were the same. We left it all in the same bowl. We just pulled out the 16-second frosting, put it in a piping bag, and then added water to the remaining icing that was in the bowl, and then put that back in the piping bag like I showed you before with the pink.
Awesome. Well, let's. I'd love to kind of get started. We're going to go ahead and finish flooding and piping these cookies, and we'll be right back.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these 2 luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 8 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail, Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno, Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
It is the top of the 8 o'clock hour on this wonderful Sunday morning. It is January 28th. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot. In this second hour, we are talking all things business. I have talent acquisition manager and business consultant Emily Gross on the couch with me to talk about AI and the job search, plus Kim Smith, adventures in coaching, how to get an accountability and a partner in your goal setting for the year of 2024, and much more. So hour 2 of Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. Coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
My favorite Valentine's Day exchanges were those little message hearts, and we made those message heart cookies. But Sabrina and I are in the kitchen writing some fun messages. Tell me if you catch what we write at the end of it, but let's take a look. Now our cookies have hardened, the royal icing has hardened. Very excited. So what do we do now? We just have fun with it, right?
Now you can put whatever you want on it. So now that they're hard, what we've taken is some of the outlining consistency, so that 16-second consistency, which gives it a nice writing utensil. So we thought we'd have some fun with the conversation hearts. My favorite one growing up was hot stuff. So I'm gonna write that one. You hold it,
just twist it.
Twist it as much as possible. A lot of people do put like a rubber band or a clip on the end. I don't, because I always add more frosting in. So lines are the easiest to do.
It looks great, and you're just putting a nice consistent pressure on the bag to get the frosting out.
Yep, a tiny pinch is what I would call it.
A tiny pinch, okay. I'm gonna watch you do this, and then I'm gonna try one.
Lines to me are so much easier than, you know, anything circular or round. So hot stuff was mine. What was your favorite one?
You know, I like the hot stuff, and I think I just like the I love you.
Oh, yeah.
I Heart You. I think we did that.
Oh, yeah, we could do that
with
one.
the letters. That was fun. I might do that one.
So this is fun because you get to add like a personal touch. I think I said it before that you could get a projector, so it's like more perfect. But I think for something like this, that's supposed to be fun and light and easy to do.
Ooh, Call Me. That was a good one.
Call Me was a good one. Now it's Text Me. I think when we were younger, it was Call Me. Now it's Text Me.
I'm going to stick to the classics. I'm going to try Call Me. We'll see how this turns out.
boy.
Oh, boy. Nice.
Yeah, you're doing great.
And gentle. Whoops. Oh, boy is right. And here we go. There's the A.
You're doing great.
So it's interesting consistency because it's kind of sticky.
Yeah.
But it's also...
But isn't it a little bit easier than you thought it would be?
It is.
Like, I think it looks like it's overwhelming and like a little bit of a challenge. And
lines are great.
Yeah,
My L's
see?
look awesome. All right, let's try this. And then the me, one line. And it just kind of breaks off because it's so thick. Right? Just like that?
Yep.
Well, almost. There's my M.
It's like a second grader wrote it.
Hey, you know, I usually am pretty good at writing things, but for the first time trying this, I'm pretty proud of it.
It looks great. And you did this whole cookie. That's your
I did.
yellow, the outlining.
I did
Look
the
at
outlining.
It. Oh,
Not
I
too
feel
bad.
great. I feel great about this.
They look great. Okay, my turn. I'm going to hold mine up. Hers looks much better than mine does because she is the professional cookie artist. But here we go. We did it. We nailed it. They look great. Call me hot stuff. Messages to everyone out there.
Absolutely.
It's lots of fun. But you can really just kind of play with these and do whatever you want to. Like, let's say I didn't want to do the actual like words. I could just like do some fun designs on it. And yeah, why not?
Yeah. Do you want to do like a heart?
Sure.
Another heart on there?
Yeah, let's try it.
So, I mean, I also think a heart is somewhat on the easier side because it's just a loop.
Mm-hmm. That looks great. And so do you practice this ahead of time? Like, have you practiced it?
Occasionally, if I think there's something that's going to be a little bit challenging, if it's like a face or a design, I'll kind of draw it out first and like stencil it with the icing on top of it. Oh my gosh, that looks great.
Getting there.
Yeah, so I'll play around a little bit before, maybe on like a paper towel or like on a plate because you can quickly rinse off a plate. So yeah, sometimes I'll play around and like see.
Not bad.
Oh, that looks beautiful. That looks
like a 12-year-old did it, but that's okay. I'm getting there. I'm learning and practicing. Okay, good. This is fun.
So it's so much fun to just be able to put your own spin on everything that you've touched. You know, like it's not something that you can just get off the shelf. And like I don't think I've ever seen cookies like this at like a store that you could just go buy cookies at. So I hope you guys have fun making these this year for your loved ones this holiday.
Absolutely. Now, can we follow you or see your work, or you keep it kind of quiet?
No, you can
word of mouth?
Absolutely follow me. My Instagram handle is Sabrina Sweet Treats.
I love that. Sabrina Sweet Treats. Yes. So super fun. Love these cookies. We had a blast in the kitchen today, learning how to make royal icing, to deal with it, and to manipulate it to make gorgeous cookies. So we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for exciting and nutritious recipes to cook at home? Watch Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller on TV8 Vail. Tracy brings you the best in fresh and healthy foods for the active outdoor lifestyle. Stream online at tv8vail.com or find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on 92.
Think Big features top kid inventors who face off against each other to see who can come up with the most innovative and creative invention. And Think Big, kids acquire and showcase their skills in creativity, science, marketing, design, and don't forget, teamwork. Check your local listings and watch the world's most innovative kids. They create and invent new toys, games, websites, and new modes of transportation. Tune in to Think Big.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Pleshaw, host of TV8 Vail. From fashion to food, from film to festivals, experience a unique look at the boutiques, spas, restaurants, and venues that make the Valley so special. Join me for Glitz and Glam. Find it in Good Morning Vail or at our website at tv8vail.com. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Dog Tales is America's premier dog lovers magazine show. This series is all about dogs and the people who love them. Featuring dogs of all sizes, shapes, and breeds, keeping you up to date with all the latest news from the dog world. Sit back and enjoy a fun program for the whole family. Check your local listings and tune in to Dog Tales.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, technology is advancing so quickly, and how do you use it to your advantage and not get overwhelmed? Joining me on the couch is Talent Acquisition Manager and Business Consultant Emily Gross about how to use AI to your job search advantage. Cannot wait to explore that. Let's take a look. You know, we are at the beginning of a brand new year. Brand new year means new goals, whether it's personal or professional. And joining me today to talk about how you can apply for jobs, which is, I know, very intimidating to some people. I've got Talent Acquisition Manager and Business Consultant Emily Gross on the couch with me today to give you all of the advice that you need. Emily, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, you are talent acquisition expert. You talk to people all day long. You hire people, you give advice, you train a team. So you know all things business and the ins and outs of it. So let's talk about 2024. We're coming into new technology, new ways to do things, whether it's looking for a job, whether it's writing a resume or a cover letter or even a headshot. So ChatGPT, I know that is the hot topic. Tell me all about it.
Yes, I am absolutely loving ChatGPT. I'm exploring with it. I'm learning more about its capabilities every day. And also job seekers, not only because it's a new year and people are looking for new opportunities, there's a lot of layoffs happening. Any of us can be looking for a job at any moment in time, of course. So we now have tools that can make it a lot easier. ChatGPT has been amazing. You can start by uploading your resume to ChatGPT with a job description of a job that you're interested in, even multiple if they're similar, and then prompt ChatGPT to cater that resume to those job descriptions. It's going to embed those keywords, and it's really going to help you look like the best candidate.
That's great. So you can literally take the job description of the job that you want and then take your resume and tell ChatGPT to match them?
Yes.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So when we use ChatGPT, so that's just with your resume, but oftentimes with the job search, you've got to have a cover letter or, it's intimidating to upload them into the search portal because you've got to enter in your employer, your address, what you did, all of those things. So how does ChatGPT help?
Yes. So writing a cover letter, I've heard from so many people that they're motivated, they're ready to go, they're applying to jobs, and then they get the upload the cover letter as well, and they're like, So don't be, intimidated by that. Go to ChatGPT, put your resume in again, put that job description in, and prompt it to write you a cover letter for that specific job. You can also add, I like to talk to my ChatGPT, so I'll say, add a little note about this and things like that. Then whatever version it gives you back, I'm always tweaking it, coaching it, really catering it. I'll say, make it more casual, make it shorter, make it more professional, make sure you mention this recent company accomplishment. So never really take the first version that it gives you, and you're going to learn so much of its capabilities by prompting it more and more.
That's great. You know, gone are the days of people who have careers in resume writing. So they're going to need to use ChatGPT to find their next job.
Yes.
That's great. So let's talk a little bit more about technology. So AI is great. So you mentioned for resumes and for cover letters, but how else can you use ChatGPT to help refine your professional profile?
Yes. So many things. Another thing that I was loving that it can do is you can upload, again, your resume, that job description, and the company information once you do have an interview scheduled. Then you can prompt ChatGPT to give you interview questions.
Oh, wow.
And then you can start answering them. Make sure you're using that star format with all of your answers. And you're going to be very prepared, because who knows, that hiring manager might even be using ChatGPT to generate those questions. So you're going to be very prepared, or it'll be similar questions. So that's another way it helps.
No, that's great. So you said star format.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It's just making sure that you're really giving the full story. So when someone asks you about a challenge that you faced, again, stay away from saying, I usually or sometimes. We want to take them to a specific time and place where you faced a challenge, start to finish, the situation, the action that you took, and you cannot forget the results. So getting all of that together, practicing with ChatGPT, answering those questions is going to have all of your responses right on the tip of your tongue.
So if you got the interview, you use the ChatGPT, everything looks great, and now you're sitting with a hiring manager. How do you really wow a hiring manager in your questions? Like, what would you recommend as far as types of questions to ask, how to answer their questions, what to wear, all of that?
Sure. Well, I'm going to say again, you can use ChatGPT. You can prompt ChatGPT with saying, what are some great interview questions for this interview that I could ask myself that will show my enthusiasm. Or a lot of times you can even have it reword something you're wondering about. I want to ask them about their last year. What's a great way to phrase that? So ChatGPT can help you. And again, all of this with AI, you still are going to put your personal touch on it, and that is really the magic. The AI is going to take, I think, a lot of the stress and a lot of the time that you would be spending on this, and it will allow yourself to be yourself, I personally think, because a lot of times I'll hear something great from ChatGPT, and I'm like, that's wonderful content. I know exactly now how to make it my own. So it's really helpful.
That's great. Now, if you're not necessarily looking, but you want your profile to look good, your professional profile. So how do you make it look good? When you're putting content on your profile, should it be exactly the same as your resume? And then also let's talk about what your picture should look like.
Yes, this is, I think, the fun stuff. I mean, it's all fun, but this gets really fun. So they are now offering AI-generated professional headshots. There are several different apps and websites that are offering it, so I'm not going to endorse one in particular. But the average price is about $30. A lot of them even have a 7-day trial. You upload about 10 pictures of yourself, and then it literally gives you hundreds of professional photos to choose from. And when you get them back, you will see that AI still struggles with fingers and teeth, so the hundreds is useful. But you'll be surprised that they really are able to capture the essence of who you are, looking really professional.
I don't know if I should be excited or scared, because that is impressive. So you usually about 10 photos and they generate 100 images from those 10.
Yes, and they give you all kinds of outfits and looks and colors, and you can customize. Say, like, I don't like the color purple, I like the color blue, or what have you. So I just think it's super fun. And for a lot of people that don't have access to someone to take a photo of them, or good lighting, or professional clothes, I think it's a great way to get yourself out there started looking and feeling your best.
That's so important. A lot of people don't even know how to pose in front of the camera at times.
Totally.
So that's a great way just to really elevate your professional profile.
Yes.
So other platforms. So we've been talking a lot about ChatGPT.
Yes.
We've talked about these photo apps that can give you a professional headshot. But there's got to be more out there. So tell me all about it.
Yes, I am learning about the full cycle ones now. The ones I've been hearing the most are Teal HQ and Use Massive. They will take you full cycle. They will create your resume for you based on a series of questions. A lot of them are multiple choice, so it creates an algorithm for you. You obviously put in your personal information as far as where you have worked and the things you've accomplished. Also, be sure to make them measurable accomplishments on there. And then it will actually suggest jobs that you should apply to. It will apply to the jobs for you. It will keep track of the application status. It will even send follow-up communications for you. It's incredible. So they can even say that they can even apply to 300 jobs per month for you.
Wow.
I think it would be for someone who's maybe starting out younger in your career and you're just kind of open to a lot of different things. I do want to put a disclaimer out there. With any AI, be very careful with your personal information. Do not include your street address. You can put the city and state that you live in. Do not put your actual phone number. I would recommend creating a Google number. They're free, so absolutely please do that. I would also recommend just creating another Gmail account just for job applications. So everything's all in one place. It's a professional email address, and that way you're protected. Because if you're going to be sending your information out to 300 people, we want it to be very secure. So please keep that in mind.
I love that you mentioned professional email address. I've seen some email addresses that should have been left in the 90s.
Same, but they give me a good laugh though. So
it's true. Well, Emily, where can we go to get career advice, to connect with you? Talk to me about how can we follow you and just use your knowledge.
Yeah. Anyone is welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Emily Gross. I do want to mention one other tool that I'm super excited about. If you don't mind, it's quick, but I was thrilled to hear this. So, when you're going and you're applying to jobs and then you upload your resume, your cover letter, you think you're all good to go, and then it prompts you to put in every single detail, month, year, a full application that's like 10 pages long. There's a web extension, a browser extension called Simplify, and it autofills for you.
Amazing.
I was so excited to hear that. So anyone can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Emily Gross. I love giving career advice. Again, we're living in a time where lots of people are getting laid off and all different things are happening. And I'm so passionate about helping people find their job in a less stressful way. So
you're very approachable, and I'm sure you've helped many careers change and many lives change. So Emily Gross on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Great. Well, we'll make sure that people connect with you there, and thank you for all of your knowledge and your information.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now stay tuned. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Hi, I'm Ben Belgrad, and I'm the owner of Drinking Vessels here at Bat Country Studios in Minturn. And I've been in the Valley for 7 years. I moved to the Valley because a friend helped me to get my vision off the ground, building my glass studio here, and being so close to snowboarding. So here at the studio, we're acting as a broker for 50 to 100 artists from around the country. We also offer glassblowing classes, and we bring many artists from around the country here to be able to work and create art collaboratively and be so close to skiing and all the activities we have here in the Valley. Here at Drinking Vessels, we specialize in handmade glass drinkware from artists around the country and around the world. Some of these are produced as more of an item you could get in sets and kind of get different color options as time goes on. And some of these are completely one of a kind and really high-end art that's unlike anything people have seen before. While I'm an artist myself here at the studio, I'm representing between 50 and 100 other artists from around the country. And most of these artists are able to spend most of their time working on their art while we help handle their marketing and their sales and the distribution and representation, allowing them more time to focus on their art. That's really my privilege in running this business, is creating that support and providing that platform for this big group of artists that are part of a movement that's very important to me.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, real homeowners tackle really big renos.
Welcome to the ugliest house in the neighborhood.
It's a wild ride from before to after.
If we go to the tile store one more time, only one of us is coming out alive.
Well, I didn't know he was going to do all that.
Between the budget and the timeline, it's makeover madness.
Good morning, Vail.
Eyepieces of Vail is such a staple in the Valley. They've got 8 locations between Vail Valley and the Roaring Fork Valley, and it's their 40th anniversary. Ross heads over there to their Bridge Street location to have a conversation about all of the fun offerings that they have. Let's explore it.
Good morning, Vail.
Tyler, how we doing?
Morning. I'm doing well, man. It's been a good morning. What's to complain about?
Yeah, nothing to complain about, right? Nothing to complain about. This is a beautiful location. If you guys can see, there's tons of goggles, tons of eyewear, tons of helmets, so much going on at Eyepieces of Vail, where they help you see better so you can ski better. Tyler, let's go through some of these goggles that you got here. What do we got going on today?
For sure. I kind of have a selection of some unique goggles that have some really interesting technologies that you're not going to see throughout a lot of lines or even really through a lot of stores. This is kind of what we specialize in, is bringing you kind of the latest and greatest when it comes to eyewear. So let's just dive right in. Kind of like the hottest new goggle that we finally got through customs, took forever. This is a company called Out Of, based in Italy, and this is a really unique solution to the photochromatic goggles that change on their own. This one actually has a little photocell here. It's an electrochromic goggle. So what that means is sunlight hits this photocell, the lens will instantly darken using an electric current within 1/10 of a second.
Wow.
Yeah, super high tech. Really awesome. And then even cooler is that we have this available as well in prescription for you. Pretty much any goggle we can do a prescription, but this is kind of the latest and greatest where it's actually built into the goggle itself. It's not a standard insert. So this is like a really unique offering that you're really only going to find in eyepieces.
Yeah, that's amazing. So this is kind of like a one goggle for any kind of condition deal? Like this is the one that you just need for the whole winter?
That's pretty much the exact idea, yes. So, most photochromatic goggles, people are always expecting them to change instantaneously. They typically take anywhere up from 30 seconds to a minute for full transition one way or another. This literally is within 1/10 of a second.
So is that why it took so long to get through customs? All the science behind that had to get inspected?
Getting new product through customs, sometimes it's just a hassle in itself. But we worked hard to get that here for you this winter. If you're interested, I would say come in and check it out because it is a really unique technology that you're not going to find anywhere else in the U.S.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, pretty wild. What else do we have going on here?
Right here too, a lot of people are familiar with MIPS helmet technology. This is a brand called Anon, and they actually took it a step farther with this cool technology here. You can see all those green kind of waves. They call it wave cell. This is a proprietary technology that is exclusive to Anon that is actually in the preliminary testing being shown to actually be more effective and safer for you than MIPS. So really cool tech there. Great looking helmet, very low profile. Like I said, we always try to bring you the best. We're right here at the base of the gondola in Vail. It's like literally one of the most premier locations of any ski resort. So we feel like we just have to give you the coolest, latest, best stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts about this location is it's right by Gondola 1, right by the ticket office. So if you need a new pair of goggles or you forgot something or even like your prescriptions, you forgot your prescription glasses, it all can be taken care of you steps away from the gondola.
That's so true. Yeah, I mean, we have a lab that we cut our prescription jobs in-house. We keep quite a wide array of lenses in stock too. So sometimes I can have you in a prescription same day to next day. Just really depends on your prescription. And then everything else you see too, like the goggles, the sunglasses, just about everything that you see, we can do a really good job of matching those tints, doing like custom tints. Really the sky's the limit, and we like to have a lot of fun with the final product.
Yeah, for sure. We like to say look good, feel good, ski good, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just even if you're not skiing, just look good, feel good, après good.
Yeah. Whatever
your flavor is, chances are we can help you out with it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So true, so true. You gotta look good out here on the slopes or in town, right? So let's move on to the next pair of goggles or glasses here.
I got two other brands here that we love. Revo here. You might remember from back in the day, these guys actually used to do the lenses for the NASA spacesuits. And they have a great photochromatic goggle that they actually use some of the same technology that they used to do in that. Magnetic interchange. Long gone are the days of like a clunky, hard to change goggle. Pretty much everything nowadays is literally as easy as that. So, I don't know about you, but if you're a dad and you have like 3 kids and they all need your lenses changed on a stormy day, this is a really good system for you to use.
Yeah, and those are so cool because the technology's come along where it's so easy to pop out, but it's not going to pop out randomly, right? Like it's secure in there when you're riding or walking around.
It's secure, yeah. If you do take a big spill and it does pop out, chances are you have a bigger issue than your lens just laying in the snow next to you.
Right.
But perfectly safe tech. I use it myself all the time. It's just ease of life. Makes everything easier. Yeah. One less thing to think about when you're getting everything ready. That way you can get out there faster and have some more fun.
Yeah, that's right. And then do those come with like special sleeves to put the backup lenses in, or how do you carry like the other lens that you want?
With the Revo, actually, this one's photochromatic, so you don't need to carry the other lens nearly as much. Cool. But if it's just going to be nuke and storm all day, they have a great low light yellow lens. And it does come with a little pouch. Usually if you carried it, I'd say put it in your little goggle pouch in your jacket so it's kind of wrapped around your ribs.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
Awesome. And then I see a pair of Dragons back there. Those look sweet.
Yep, Dragon. This is actually really cool new tech in lenses that we might be seeing more of in the future. It's an infrared filtering lens. So what this actually effectively means, if you run hot and sweaty, this literally will run cooler for you because it's deflecting that infrared warmth off your face, out of the goggle. So this is really cool, guys. For those guys that are like really sweaty, have a lot of fogging issues, just tend to run hot. This is proven to keep you running a little cooler out there.
Yeah, not guys like us. We stay cool and calm out there. We don't work up a sweat. But we all have that one friend that might be getting those sweaty, foggy goggles that those would be perfect for.
We all have that one friend that no matter the weather is sweaty. Yeah, that's just how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it goes. So awesome options here. I love the different colors and different styles too. So that's amazing. And I also love the helmets, right? You got to kind of stay safe out there and love to see some progression in technology there. On to some sunglasses and regular glasses here. What do we got here, Tyler?
Little small assortment from some of our favorite brands that we carry. Literally, someone we've had a relationship almost since day one in 2003 was Makita out of Germany. They're all made in Berlin, surgical grade stainless steel, very durable, flexible, so ultra lightweight. I mean, if you feel these things, it's almost like nothing, but these are also some of the hardest wearing frames we have too. So great design out of Germany there. Available in prescription, not only in sunglasses, but regular glasses as well. We even popped this cool case from Master G out of LA. 2 pairs in there. Really travel friendly, especially if you're coming to and from Vail a lot.
Right.
And then kind of moving down here, a couple smaller brands that you really may not have heard of, but one that I really love that's in a Bridge Street exclusive, a brand called LGR out of Italy. Very mountaineering-esque inspired. Great mineral glass lenses. Everything's all handmade in Italy. Just really cool, kind of unique designs.
And those are kind of making a comeback, right? Those mountaineering looks that kind of wrap around the eye.
We have seen a lot of like side shields or like, kind of mini side shields through a lot of lines. It is kind of one of those looks that has kind of been coming back, and especially being in a mountain town, this is a look that's also functional as well.
Right.
Yeah. And then finally, one of my favorite brands that we've carried in Bridge Street for a long time, Thierry Lazary out of France. Really just fun, great frames. He does amazing colors and color blocks. This is like one of his newest shield pieces, which I don't know if you've been, you got yours on. Shields are a really big look right now. This is kind of like a little more of like your high fashion, but great colors, great fits. We really have something for everybody, regardless of what your look is. or your style that you're going for, we can really help you find that through our selection at our stores.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about one of the things you guys do here at Eyepieces is these sunglasses that I have on my head right here, they broke one day, and I just brought them in, and you guys ordered the piece for me. So whether you need new gear or you're just kind of repairing some of that gear to get another life out of it, you guys are awesome about helping out with either or.
We're happy to help you out however we can. Whatever direction you want to go, or even if you just lost a little screw while you're here, bring it on by. We're happy to get you going and back out having fun in town.
Yeah, and then last thing, kind of speaking on bringing it on by, you can bring it on by all over the place, right? Eyepieces is all over. Where can people kind of find Eyepieces?
Of course, we have 8 locations, 6 here in Vail Valley and 2 in Roaring Fork Valley. So we have 3 here in Vail Village. We're obviously at the base of the gondola. We have one across from Solaris, which also has our doctor services. And then the Stone and Alp Sport store is the newest one in Vail. Lion's Head has a boutique, Edwards has a boutique, and so does Beaver Creek. If you haven't been to the Beaver Creek one recently either, I highly recommend it. New remodel, the store is gorgeous. And then if you find yourself over in Roaring Fork, over by Whole Foods and Basalt, and then near the Viceroy Hotel at the base of Snowmass as well.
Awesome. Well, Tyler, thanks for joining us this morning. That was a great kind of 101 on what you guys are doing here. Eyepieces of Vail all over the place. See good, ski good. Stay tuned for more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Familia, estamos muy emocionados de por fin presentarles nuestro nuevo programa completamente en español, Conexión Latina, que se estrena este lunes 21 de agosto a partir de las 7 de la tarde. Por el momento, el programa se transmitirá los lunes, miércoles y viernes de 7 a 7 y media de la tarde, con una repetición de 7 y media a 8, así que no hay excusas para perdértelo. Te recuerdo que puedes sintonizar nuestra programación a través del canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página web tva.com y nuestra página de Facebook TVA Conexión Latina. Acompáñanos en esta nueva aventura llena de información y entretenimiento local. No te lo pierdas.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on flash deals. Now check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
Good morning, Vail.
Hi friends, welcome to Vail Vibes. Avisha Scarborough here. Now, whether you're a shredder or you're a cruiser, it's not about how fast you get down the mountain. It's about what you do afterwards to celebrate. I got a chance to hit the town and check out what Vail has to offer when it comes to our beloved tradition of après-ski. Take a look. It's arguably as much a part of the ski experience as skiing itself. That special time right after the ski lift stops running until right about dinner time.
We all call it après, and really it's an opportunity to celebrate with each other. So, after you've had a day on the mountain, everyone comes together, cocktails, live music, food. Really, it's all about the vibe.
Oh, we know about the vibe. And so does the Four Seasons Remedy Bar.
What we do here at the Remedy very well is we take the classic cocktails and we create them to perfection.
Here, the bartender Maggie is making a couple of her most popular classics.
We, in my opinion, make one of the best old fashions in the village. Our secret is that we use a demerara syrup, which is kind of an unfiltered turbinado sugar, so it's kind of like has a more rich flavor as opposed to simple syrup, which kind of waters down the cocktail. People love old fashions in the winter because the whiskey really just warms you up and it makes you feel like nice and buzzed and ready to have a good time in the après season. And then espresso martinis with that caffeine, it gives you a buzz, but it also gives you energy. So if you had a long day of skiing or snowboarding, it'll kind of re-energize you.
And as far as food goes?
The tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich, which is my #1 go-to during season, that's a very popular menu item. The Remedy Burger is also a go-to. And this season, we're actually going to be rolling out several new menu items. The veal schnitzel is really at the top of my list right now.
And the Four Seasons has what many people call the world's most decadent hot chocolate.
It's our world-famous au chocolat.
With a giant house-made marshmallow and a chocolate twill, the hot chocolate is as satisfying to watch as it is to drink. Jonathan says what makes the Four Seasons experience so special is all the attention to detail.
What we really focus on are the little touches. So the things that you're not necessarily going to notice, but then after you depart, you're probably going to remember them, right?
Right. It's all been pretty hard to forget. So come for the skiing and stay for the skiing. But afterwards, treat yourself to some delicious après goodness. For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough.
Good morning, Vail.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Good morning, Vail.
It is the Kims on the Couch. I had a conversation with business success coach Kim Smith about all of the adventures in coaching and the things that she does and how to set your goals. Let's explore all of that and more. So we are in the start of a new year, and you know what that means. New year, new you, new resolutions, and lots going on. But as we are continuing to progress throughout the year, you're probably going, okay, what's happening here? So joining me on the couch today, and you've seen her many, many times, is the career and business success coach, Kim Smith. Kim, how are you?
I'm great. So glad to be here again, and Happy New Year. Even though it's the end of January, but this topic is going to be very timely.
It's so true. I figure, you know, we're sitting here on the couch, and Happy New Year. I'm still in the new year for at least the next 3 months.
Of course.
Well, love having another Kim on the couch with me today. So let's talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions, right? We're at the end of January, but people tend to set aggressive and very lofty and optimistic goals, and then, you know, as they keep progressing forward, talk to me about why people set New Year's and resolutions.
Well, you know, we have so much optimism at the beginning of the year. It's sort of a time to reset and reframe and think about maybe the things that didn't go well last year. So we just sort of sometimes arbitrarily throw things out there and say, like, all right, I'm going to just, you know, I'm going to work on this or work on that. So it's very normal to do that. But what often happens is that, you know, by the end of January, you know, 90% of resolutions basically fail. You know, people aren't working on them anymore, and really here to talk about like why that happens.
It's so true. And, you know, I think for me personally, I had a couple of goals that I set in January, and now I'm going, time's slipping away.
Okay.
So why do goals and people fail at reaching and staying on track with their resolutions?
Right. Well, and that is the crux, and the big question is, you know, why? And a lot of times it's just because maybe they're arbitrary, but often we aren't necessarily tying that goal to our purpose and our why and what's important to us, and really asking, like, why am I doing this? Is it because there's some outside pressure for me to do it, or is it something that really is something that I'm very attached to and that I need to do and want to do, not what I need to do? So that's like one of the big ones. One of the next ones is just basically not having a plan in place, like figuring out like how to get from point A to Z, you know, and all the steps in between. So it's really easy to get stuck on that, like, it's a huge goal, how do I get started? And that's very, very common. And another one is just not really holding yourself accountable and having maybe an accountability partner. And then a big final one is, and it's not final, but one of the big ones is, you know, what are our fears around success and our limiting beliefs? Is there something that might be holding us back from trying or even trying to move forward with a new goal?
All of those things. Well, outside pressure.
Yeah.
Too big of a goal. How do you get there? You know, what do you do? Holding yourself accountable. Those are all very, very important things. So let's talk a little bit about creating a timeline. You know, how do you do that? How do you even begin to think about it? And what's the structure?
Right. Well, a timeline is really, you know, it could be driven by an outside force, like perhaps you need to get a new job because you're being pushed out somewhere, you're seeing the writing on the wall, you're ready to do something. Or it could be that, you know, within a certain time frame, you'd like to make a change and transition in your career or in your life, whatever that is. But I think it's really important to put something on a calendar and then work back from there and then have those baby steps. Because if you don't start mapping out some of those baby steps, you're not going to ever reach that end goal. So, you know, making sure that you put something in the calendar for maybe it's every day or maybe it's every week, but you check in and you're really kind of measuring where you are each time.
You know, that's so true. A specific example, and I've talked about this previously, I used to dance for a professional team, and I wrote the audition date all over a calendar, all over my bathroom mirror. So that is, I love that, you know, setting a goal and then working your way backwards.
Right.
It's really important.
And then what were your steps in between? Just curiosity. Out of curiosity.
Without getting into too much detail, there was some physical aspects of it. So certain goals from that perspective, you know, I wanted to be at this place with my physicality. I wanted to have this part of my dance, and then hitting those monthly timelines and kind of just holding myself to the fire and saying, you know, what's more important, the right now moment or the long term? And, you know, it took some discipline and accountability for sure.
Discipline is a really good term too. It's like, what am I going to do to hold myself to doing this? And sometimes it's that fear of that end goal. Like, you've got this deadline, you've got that, you know, that tryout or whatever it was, and you had to have that done for then. And then I think that's important to make sure that you have something that you're, you know, you're working towards and there's a reason behind it.
So let's talk about the goals and working towards them. How do you figure out what is a realistic goal for yourself personally?
Yeah, and realistic is that question, and it's sometimes hard. So what I like to tell people is to be sure that you know what you can manage, what is realistic. So if a goal is too easy, you're probably not going to do it. But if it's way too hard and you're asking yourself to do way too many things and you're already busy schedule, you might be like, oh, I'm just going to blow it off, and so therefore forget it in like 2 weeks, right? So come up with something that's realistic and be kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to make changes as you need to, but still hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, no, that's great. And so you mentioned the changes and figuring out what those realistic goals are. So you set a goal, you're starting to work towards it, you're making some changes here and there, and you're going, well, wait a minute, I don't know if this is what I want anymore. So how do you tweak, the goals or the resolutions or whatever you're setting to basically accelerate your personal goals?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's been so many times when I've been working with people and they're like, well, wait, I've done all this work and suddenly I see it differently and I want to go a different direction. And so, it's about taking stock in where you are and why are you changing it? Is it because you really want to, or is it because you're now in fear and you maybe don't want to achieve that goal anymore because something, your limiting belief is getting in the way? So it's a matter of, kind of deciding where you are with that.
Yeah, I think I love taking that and simplifying things. So, how do you simplify, look at it from an easier perspective and saying, okay, I have all of these goals. This is what I want to do. Let's break it down. So like you mentioned, going from A to Z, how do you go from A to B, B to C, et cetera? And how do you simplify that?
And I think it's really about figuring out what are those steps and what are those realistic steps and what's it going to take. And sometimes it takes some research. You may have to reach out to people that have done it in the past, or if you're looking to change a career, what are those things that you need in order to move into that? Is it that you need to make sure you have enough, in your bank account so that you can hold on for a while? What is that going to look like? Do you need some additional training? Do you need to network? What does your resume look like, for example? All of these things, map those out and then work on them, every week and prioritize, right? Some things are going to take longer than others.
That's true. Well, Kim, I wish I had met you when I had all of those goals back in the day. So what is working with a career and business success coach? What does that mean? How do I work with you? How do you find a coach that fits what you're looking for?
Yeah, well, I think, there's a lot of coaches out there and, it has to be a nice personality fit, I think, for both of you. But really, coach is here to help you to determine, if you have a goal or something you're wanting to change. And, a lot of times I'm working with people through transitions and changes, and I'll identify, we'll say, what is your goal and how does that relate to your purpose and your why, like I said initially. And then, what is the plan? How are we going to put this together? So you're not having to figure it out in your head by yourself. I'm going to be asking the questions what is it going to take? Where do we need to go? I'll be giving some insight, to your process and what I think, you should do. But I'm also going to really help guide you and partner with you to reach those goals. And, a couple of the really big things that a coach does is hold you accountable, for meeting weekly or every other week or even once a month. I'm going to say, let's determine what are the things that we're going to work on. And the next time we get together, hopefully you'll have those done. And if not, we'll say well, why? What happened? This isn't an opportunity to make you feel bad about something. It's just to say, well, what got in the way and how can we avoid that pitfall in the future? And then finally, really looking at limiting beliefs, because as much as we like to think we know what our limiting beliefs are, I go through a pretty in-depth process to figure out what those are, to see, what those small voices are in your head that are, maybe holding you back from success or holding you back from trying harder. What are those self-doubts? What are those things that might, get in the way? So
I love that. So it sounds like you help people break through their barriers, their personal barriers.
Exactly.
And then on the flip side, you're not coming down on them like a boss would in a job, but more so in let's talk about it and let's work through it and set some more goals. I love what you do. That's so great.
Yeah.
So Kim, if we wanted to hire you, if I wanted to personally hire you, where do I go for more information and how do I keep up with what you're doing?
Well, I'm here local in the Vail Valley, and you can reach me at kim@adventuresandcoaching.com or just go to my website, adventuresandcoaching.com, and reach out to me. I offer a free or complimentary first session if you're interested, just to find out a little bit more about how we would work together. So yeah, please reach out.
Just make sure it's a good personal fit. And,
yes.
And all of the fun things. Well, I love that. Kim, you were wonderful. It's great to be
you.
officially on the couch with you. You know,
Thanks,
I've
Kim.
watched all of your previous sessions, so I love that I'm here.
Awesome.
And again, we appreciate all that you're doing. And I hope that a lot of people reach out, because January is over, but that means the year is still in full swing.
Right, and we still have opportunities at any time to make changes.
It's absolutely true. Now, stay tuned. We've got a bit more, and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Spooky and Scott Show, we are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
Hi, Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 8 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
Good morning, Vail.
It sure has been fun sitting here on the couch and showing you all of the cool things that we have here on Good Morning Vail. Sabrina Feldman, cookie artist, talent acquisition manager, and business consultant, Emily Gross, and then Adventures in Coaching with Kim Smith on setting those goals. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and I will see you next time.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for exciting and nutritious recipes to cook at home? Watch Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller on TV8 Vail. Tracy brings you the best in fresh and healthy foods for the active outdoor lifestyle. Stream online at tv8vail.com or find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on 92.
Suki and Scott show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
Hi, Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
This show spotlights the latest innovations to create a greener planet. Join us next time as we explore new green ideas and present interesting green stories, and show you how some people are becoming real green.